So the reasons that have led up to the person being depressed is often legitimate reasons, right? So again, it could be a multitude of different things, from things as everyday and common to, a breakup or a divorce or some kind of group rejection or, family discord. So that could be the more situational elements of a depressive episode. Or you could have a person who has a history of trauma and that has not been well regulated or well treated, and it hasn't been well cared for. And so those things add up, right? And so it's really important to make a differentiation between the reasons why you have depression are legitimate, and in this moment you are still, it's almost like the past is still the present. And so the many things that have happened to you that are not yet resolved feel like they're still happening, and sometimes they are, right? And sometimes they're not. And so it's not just as simple as distorted thoughts. It's more like, what is happening in this moment? Is that person experiencing rejection in this moment? And if they are, that needs to be tended to. Is this person experiencing financial stress? And if they are, that needs to be tended to. So I don't know if I'm making myself clear. So the context becomes very, very important to look at, as opposed to whether or not their thoughts are distorted. So it's not necessarily saying, hey, your thoughts are distorted, don't listen. It's more like, what is happening for this person right now? And how can I meet them where they are right now? So whenever somebody says, I wish I wasn't here, my family members or my loved ones would be better off without me, what they're actually expressing, so yes, that is a distorted thought if you want to be technical with the definition, but what they're actually expressing is hopelessness and despair. And so the response to them is not so much like, don't think that, because that's very invalidating. And when they're invalidated, they feel more alone. But what you want them to think is like, listen, I know you are feeling so hopeless right now, and I know you're feeling like it doesn't matter. And I can't solve all of your problems for you, but what I can say is that in this moment, I'm not going to leave your side until you're okay. And I'm going to help you as much as I can, and I'm going to get as many people as I can to help you so that it's not so big. So that the communication that you're trying to give to them is that this moment feels too big, and I'm committed to being right here with you until it feels less big. So that is what the thoughts are about. The thoughts are not necessarily just distorted thoughts on their own. They're connected to a feeling, a big, big feeling. And the person needs help with that feeling. I think it's important to, I find myself doing this as well. So it's not a criticism of other people. This is like for all of us. When we are faced with somebody who is in deep despair, the first thing that we want to do, myself included, is to fix it. Right? We want to tell the person, no, you're not worthless. No, you're amazing. No, you're all of these things. And that could even be the truth. These people could be all of those things. In that moment, when somebody is in that kind of despair, they do not believe you. And even you trying to fix it by telling them that you're all those things ends up very inadvertently and unintentionally pushing them away and making them feel even more alone. And so my biggest plea to people is, you've heard it 10 million times, and I'm going to say it again, is to develop your listening skills. And so the more you can make somebody else feel heard, is the less alone they feel. And when they feel less alone, they feel less overwhelmed. And so I'm not saying that you listening will fix all of their problems in that moment, but what listening could do is make them feel less alone. And none of us, myself included, I had to go to school to get these skills, and even then, they're kind of, like in my personal life, sometimes they're not that great. But you have to actually develop your listening skills. It's not just something that you are intuitively born with. Or if we are, we're not in touch with that part of us that intuitively does it. So we need those skills. And there are tons of great books and courses and opportunities, but that's what we need more than anything else.